last case opened in me a new fear, a real fear, a fear of myself, what I am, and of what I've always been. All that I was is now lost. Hope, purpose, pleasure, all meaningless. I now walk in the shadows between worlds, and it is there I have finally glimpsed upon what lives in the dark corners of the earth.
I like the way you smile at me, baby. I like the way you smile at me, baby. So
Robert, this had better be good. What's the beef?
Sorry, Jack. We had to call. This fellow will only talk to you. Name's Victor Holt.
Don't know any Victor.
He's the leader of this weird cult that moved in here a few months back. Got about 20 followers. They've been causing trouble all over town. Stealing, going through folks' trash, hanging around outside people's homes at all hours. No one ever presses charges, though. They're a screwy bunch. They've got the locals scared. So tonight, we were just passing, doing the normal rounds, when we heard gunshots fired from their property.
Gunshots? Hang on there. No one said anything about gunshots. Who have we got out here?
Yeah, just me, Nichols, and a few new recruits.
Well, that's just great. Lead the way, Robert. I better check out this crazy gang of yours. How you doing, kid?
Good, sir. Is it true what they say about you?
Depends on what they're saying.
That you've cracked cases where there was no evidence.
You shouldn't believe everything you hear.
Right.
Jack, Officer Nichols will brief you at the top. Be careful.
What's taking him so long? Something must be wrong.
I think I saw him with Officer.
Evening, Jack. Glad you could join the freak show.
How's it looking, Henry?
I don't like this one bit, Jack. Check the alley on the right. Victor Holt's over there in the shadows. He's waiting for you.
Can we trust him?
Nope, but we've got you covered. You better take it slowly, though. They're a bit twitchy.
Try to stay calm.
fire is still burning. As I continue to translate the narcotic fragments, I become more and more eager to contact my Yithian masters. These beings truly are gods to us. Their intellect and knowledge surpasses ours in ways impossible to comprehend. I know now just how insignificant mankind is in the universe, a doomed and simple species thrown up as a side effect of an experiment by the elder things. It is a blessing that such flawed creatures as ourselves have such a short and limited future. That symbol's strange. Looks almost like a flaming eye. I should take a closer look. It's locked.
I'm running low on ammo.
It won't open. It won't budge. Empty ammo boxes and spent shells. Nothing useful. I better keep my distance from the window, or I'll end up on this nut job. Poisoning by the looks of it. Poison appears to have been on the menu. Don't shoot. I'm unarmed.
Ah, we've been expecting you, Mr. Walt.
Damn. He recognized me, and it sounded like he was going to get on the level with what's going on in this joint. A key. This should help downstairs. He's dead. Looks like a bad case of lead poisoning. It's locked. The key doesn't fit. It's unlocked. I don't understand. I mean, all of these photos. All of them. There must be some kind of mistake. Why would they want me here? It must be an old case. Something I've forgotten. Some screwball with a grudge, maybe. Think. I gotta think. Another key. This should fit the door across the hall. It's unlocked. For nutcases, they seem quite literate. It appears to be a private study area. The drawer holds an ancient manuscript. The symbols on the front seem to be written in classical Greek. There are definitely some strange sounds coming from this side of the room. Shit, that did not sound good. Well, that's just swell. He's dead. The beam must have fallen and crushed his skull. This sink would be used for scrubbing up. Medical charts on the human anatomy. Dead bodies, and plenty of them. Something dreadful has been going on down here. Seems like these cabinets are used for storing chemicals and medical equipment. Looks like his stomach. The contraption above seems to be controlling his breathing. His beating heart. It's too hot to pick up. Looks like his brain. I wonder what those wires are for. This pipe must drain the waste from his intestines. Looks like his kidneys. They're moving around in all that liquid. Nothing of interest. Good God! What the hell is all this? Tunnel feels like it's gonna collapse at any moment. It's too hot to touch. I think it's being used as a power source for the machine. His lungs have stopped ventilating. His stomach stopped moving. His brain stopped moving. The crystal's still warm. Too hot to touch. I think it's being used as a power source for the machine. There's no power. It's a similar shape to the slot upstairs. What the hell is that? been more than 6 years since I entered that strange house in Boston. But to me, it was just 5 months ago. Amnesia, the doctors called it, probably brought on by acute mental stress. I remember investigating the far side of the library. There was screaming. According to the police report, they had searched the house for hours, only to find me later collapsed on the floor. When my eyes opened and I spoke, my colleagues recoiled in fear. There was something unnatural in my voice and blank gaze. They committed me to Arkham Asylum, where I was diagnosed with severe schizophrenia. As it became clear that I presented no danger to either myself or others, I was released from the asylum's care. I have learned little of my activities in the 6 years that followed. The accounts I've been able to piece together show much of my time was spent in travel and study. I maintained a fanatical infatuation with the occult, delving deep into volumes concerning witch cults and dark legends, often in languages unfamiliar to my own. When I reawakened 5 months ago, exactly 6 years after entering that house in Boston, no trace was left of what had been a secondary personality. I was myself again, or at least what I believed myself to be. Return to normal life has been a painful process. In recent days, my dreams have been plagued by cosmic landscapes, and I've become fearful of my own reflection. I am beginning to remember things from that day, more than 6 years past, that I've told no one else. Jack Walters.
Hello, Mr. Walters. My name's Arthur Anderson. I need your help finding a missing person.
I don't take that kind of job.
Did you get my package?
Hold on. What exactly do you want from me, Mr. Anderson?
It's one of my store managers, you see. Brian's his name. Brian Burnham. Nice lad. He disappeared recently from the First National grocery store in Innsmouth.
Innsmouth? Never heard of it.
It's a small fishing town on the coast, not far from Arkham. I'd like to see you in person before you leave.
Hold on there a minute. I didn't agree to take this what the hell? I'll be here all day anyway. Driver, how far did he stop?
It's almost there. I'll drop you at the town square of Innsmouth.
Why lock the gates?
Keeps out wanderers looking for work. You don't want those folks like that interfering with our affairs.
Is the bus from Arkham always this empty?
Aye, and we prefers it that way. Not many come to Innsmouth.
But what about trade? Surely the port needs business.
Innsmouth has the means to look after her own. This is it, stranger. End of the line.
Could you direct me to the First National Grocery Store? I hear they have a shop in town.
I don't know nothing about that.
Oh, well, you see, I'm looking for a young lad called Brian Burnham. I'm a friend of the family. He worked in the store.
Don't know who you're talking about, fella.
Chit-chatting to him's gonna get me no place fast. Evening.
Hi.
The name's Jack Walters. I'm just visiting.
You don't say, sir. Gilman. Charlie Gilman. I run this here hotel of an evening.
You got any rooms?
I'd not rightly know that for sure. All habits cleaning rooms at present. Them's from out of town can leave a horrid mess.
Talking to this fellow's getting me nowhere, and he's more than a touch creepy. If I need a room and I'm desperate, then I'll come back. I'm looking for Brian Burnham.
Sorry, stranger. I can't help you.
This statue commemorates the men who fought in the Revolutionary War. That way is blocked by a police line. Excuse me, Constable. Jack Walters.
Robes. Alien robes. What you want?
Could you help out a stranger to this fine port?
Are you being funny?
No, not at all. I'm after directions to the First National. I hear they have a store in town.
Innsmouth don't take too kindly to them from out of town. Get lost, stranger.
That fellow was just stringing me along with a lot of nothing about nothing. It won't budge. Do you know the Burnham lad? He worked in the First National.
Please, stop bothering me, stranger.
Evening. The name's Jack Walters. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss...
Miss will do for now. Welcome to Innsmouth, Mr. Walters.
Thanks, I think.
Take my advice. Do what you must and then leave. Tonight. This port does not cater well to visitors.
While I appreciate your concern, miss, I can handle lousy hospitality.
Very well, Mr. Walters.
This doll seems more open than some folks around these parts, but she isn't going to talk to me right now. Hello again.
Mr. Walters.
Look, miss, I only want a conversation. There's no harm in that, right?
There's plenty of harm. It's not wise to be seen gossiping with outsiders.
How about playing dumb for a few minutes?
No.
She's too frightened to talk to me, but this lady knows something. It won't open.
With a good windpipe in early, in the towels, gallants, mass. Ah, my boys, these are the joys of the noble and the brave, who love a life in the tempest strife, in the home of the mountain wave. When the driving rain of the hurricane puts the lights of the lighthouse out, and the growling thunder sounds his gong, and the whirlwinds battle out. Ha ha! Who's that there? Oh, can you spare a few pennies, young mister? I can give you something for your generosity.
Who are you?
Zadok, that be my name, though too few use it now. Zadok Allen.
Do you know a Brian Burnham?
Just a young'un. Worked over the store. He's gone. Killed, I reckon.
Killed? What makes you think that?
Them's from out of town running a store. Taking business from the Order of Dagon. They'd not accept that.
What else can you tell me about this port?
You just bring old Zadok a bottle of something nice, and old Zadok will fill your ears.
It won't budge.
The timbers creak and the sea birds shriek.
The old drunkard knows something. I don't think it would take much to get his tongue wagging. Evening, Constable.
Certainly I'm busy. No time for stalkers, rangers.
I'm Detective Jack Walters. I've been hired by the regional manager of the First National.
And I'm Constable Burt, and I'm the law around these parts, and I'm still not talking to you. Now get lost. Move along outside out.
He isn't gonna spill with anything useful. It won't budge.
Stop! You can't come down there!
The police clearly don't want me snooping around. I need to be more careful. It's unlocked. Assorted paperwork, but nothing of any real interest. The till's empty. The store appears to have been doing quite well under Brian. A Store of the Year poster. It seems Brian had a lot of pride in the store. There's a bottle of bootleg rum and a wooden handle. Nothing of interest. A typewriter. Invoices and receipts. Nothing of interest. It looks like I need some sort of...
Whoever's down there, you can rot.
The ladders and stairs have collapsed. I'll never get back up. It looks like a diary. It's gotta have some clues. The cellar's filled with human remains. Old photos of Innsmouth. Most of them have faded beyond recognition. Old photos of Innsmouth. Most of them have faded beyond recognition. There are some issues of the Innsmouth Courier lying here, and they're dated 1846. general notices. They're all dated 1846. It won't budge. Nothing of interest.
Holy shit!
From the stench in here, this noose broad must have kicked it a few months back. Nothing of interest here.
Jack?
Do I know you?
Lucas Mackey. Sorry to startle you. Innsmouth doesn't get a lot of visitors. New names spread fast. What are you doing in town, Jack? Hear about the missing Burnham boy?
Not bad. I'm a private detective. My client's a friend of the Burnhams.
Seen the latest press from Arkham? Your boy's been quite busy.
What about you, Mackey? You're obviously not a local. What's your business in town?
True enough, Jack. Nothing too exciting, I'm sorry to say. I'm a government factory inspector. They posted me in this rotten hole to check over the old Marsh refinery. Speaking of which, I've got an appointment with the manager, Jacob Marsh.
Okay, maybe I'll catch you later. That's the first friendly face I've seen in this damn town. But I've been in this business long enough to know he's hiding something.
Won't tell him anything.
This town's deserted. Where is everybody?
Just leave me be, stranger.
It won't budge. If you pardon my asking, have you lived here in this port all your life?
Last 37 years in Old Lady Warren's house. Before that, over by fishing cannery. Cannery.
Old Lady Warren's house?
Go and fetch me a bottle of something to wet old Zedok's whistle, and I'll tell you all. Why, you're uncommonly kind, young feller. Here'll be a little something in gratitude that might help you in your search. Now you be calling me crazy. Like them that's there rumouring and anchoring in Ipswich. But old Zadok's seen all manner of wicked things since before you was born. Old Captain Obed where it all began, telling desperate folks they'd order get better gods, them's that would answer their prayers.
Didn't the Christian folk of Innsmouth object to such blasphemy?
Aye, they did. It were around 46 that many folks in town were done with Obed and his ways. And all that wild preaching and too many missing, you see. A party of good folk followed Captain Obed's crowd out to the reef. Shots were fired. Next day, Obed and 30 of his followers were in jail. And for weeks all were quiet, till that artful night of 46. Them's out outside reckon out it being a riot. But I'd seen them. Swarms of them.
Look, old man, I don't have time to listen to these fishing tales.
Was a massacre. The jail thrown open. Mounds of the dead and the dying. Shooting and screaming and shouting all across the town square. Come morning, the mess was cleaned up. Old Obed and his family takes charge, they did. Folks were told to keep shy as strangers if we were knowing what was good for us.
Zadok, who did all this? Who did all this?
Said the old captain was now deeper in debt to his heathen gods. They were hankering for more than just sacrificing. Obed told folks they had to take the oaths of Dagon.
What the hell are these oaths?
You just asked old Wes about oaths of Dagon. Aye, he take the third oath. Just head over to his hole in the Dog Street. Then you'll see, for definite.
He's given me a key to the town poorhouse. It could come in handy. Where did Captain Obed Marsh learn of these heathen matters?
In warring foreign parts, the old fool had learned to ways of making gains, doing heathen things. He found a tribe of Kanakis in the South Seas led by a savage. Chief went by a name of Wallachia. And his tribe never went without food, for they had all the fish they could catch. Old Obed learned from his Wallachia that there's things on this earth as most folks never heard about. Seems these Kanakis was worshipping undersea gods, with heaps of human sacrifices and other heathen things. But they was getting all kinds of favors in return. Plenty of fishing and even gold now and then.
Human sacrifices? Maybe you've had just a bit too much.
I don't blame you for not believing it, young fella. But just answer me this. Why did Captain Obed roll out to the reef of Satan and chant a lot of rites and incantations in the dead of night? So loud you could hear them all over the port. He cast something in the water that eve, out the other side of Devil's Reef. Some kind of thingamajig crafted out of lead. It was given to him by Wallachia.
So, what happened?
Well, not long after that smoke started coming out of the chimneys at the old gold refinery, the Marsh family and those that had joined with Obed in his ways started prospering in the esoteric order of Dagon. Came into being with his heathen ceremony. That shit they do.
What kinds of ceremonies?
Get out of here, lad. Don't sweat for nothing. They'll know now.
I think he's had his fill for the night.
Mr. Walters, I must speak with you.
It's Jack. And just hold on there a minute, sweetheart. Are you gonna even tell me your name?
My name's Rebecca Lawrence, and unless you want to join Innsmouth's long list of missing, I'd urge you to follow me.
Missing, huh? Like Burnham?
Of that, I'm not sure. You'd be better off asking the Billingham's daughter, Ruth. She was dating Brian.
What? Who's Ruth?
Quickly, we don't have much time. You've got to follow me. Jack, Innsmouth is a strange place. There are things that have no business being here. Foul, reeking things.
Strange. Trust me, I'm good with strange.
That remains to be seen, but I can help you. My father discovered this strange sign while studying an old manuscript. It seems to ward off the more unusual elements in Innsmouth. Whenever you find one, you can use it to find a moment of sanctuary. Now, I must leave before we're seen together.
I've seen that eye-like symbol somewhere before, but never surrounded by a star. I wonder why they cordoned it off. What happened here, Constable?
Nothing.
Oh, swell. You can let me pass then?
No. You'll have to go another way.
Jack, we can't be seen talking together. What is it?
Why do you stay in Innsmouth, Rebecca?
My grandfather, John Lawrence, was editor of the Innsmouth Courier. He was murdered in the slaughter of 46. He had always despised the Marshes and their blasphemous doings, and it was he who led the party out to the reef that night. They arrested Captain Marsh and his order and tossed them in the old jailhouse. A few weeks later, my grandfather was dead. My father saw him die. Him and many others burned alive in the Courier's basement.
All the more grounds to leave.
To leave would be to fail my own legacy. I have a duty to protect the good in Innsmouth, at least what little good remains.
She knows plenty, but I need to have a look around myself if I'm gonna crack this case. Hello, Mackie.
Jack, swell to see you again. Any leads on the Burnham case?
Nope. Did you know the lad at all?
Just pleasantries. Seemed a nice enough fella, if a little rough around the edges. Strange business, though. I'd never have fingered him as a crook. The First National was a well-run store, a rare thing here in Innsmouth.
Okay, Mackie. Thanks.
Goodbye, Jack. Be careful what you're doing. Very careful. Innsmouth's a dangerous place. Not everyone who visits here ends up leaving by the old bus route.
This Mackie character knows plenty, but I don't think grilling him for scraps of information is going to crack this case. A storage depot. It's shut. It won't open. Constable Ropes.
What you after now?
You ever meet Brian Burnham?
I couldn't rightly say as I remember.
The burglarizing of the First National is big news in the Arkham press. The Burnham lad must be one of your prime suspects. Any luck tracing his whereabouts?
No. That'd be a matter for the Order.
The Order? Isn't this a matter for the police?
Yup. That too.
Who is the Order?
Them's that look after affairs there in Innsmouth. And you'd mind your business not to be asking too many questions.
Talking to that fella's a waste of my time. It's unlocked.